Hi, so today I just want to talk about triggers. It's something that I realized when I was talking to somebody. In my course of work, I work with different kinds of people. And so it happened that we were talking about domestic violence and challenges that they were facing. And all of a sudden, I didn't even realize that something about me changed that the other person saw, which prompted me to share my story. And this was my story that I shared with her. Growing up, I think I was in grade 4, and I was on my way to school. It was on a Monday, I remember quite well. I was on my way to school with some friends, group of friends. We used to walk. It was a bit of a long distance. So, whilst we were walking, somebody called my name, rushing, calling my name, rushing. And then I had to look back and said, okay, who's, and then she asked, hey, wait. I want you to tell us, why were your parents fighting yesterday? I felt so embarrassed. And at that moment, it brought me back to my home that I've just left. I'm not sure how I answered that girl, but I remember quite well the effect it had on me the whole day. It was like all the children know that my parents were fighting. And growing up in a household where domestic violence was prevailing, I trying to be strong here. But one thing that I've noticed is that although you can overcome it, it doesn't go away. There are people who go through uh, trauma, and then we say, oh, maybe they have healed, but it doesn't take away what they went through. I tell you, if how I it triggered me all of a sudden when somebody was sharing their story, and this happened. I'm 40 now. I'm 40. But it reminded me of something that happened to me. And no child deserves to grow up in a home that has domestic abuse. It's not a good experience at all. I don't think children are victims. I don't know. I don't know what kind of word to use. Yes, they are victims of domestic violence, but in their small shell mind, they I visibly remember when it happened. It was on a weekend. That's why this girl on a Monday was asking me about it. So I I have uh I think personally I never I believe I've grown above it now, but the effects are still there. And I just want to share this because I was helping somebody now to realize, it's not your fault. And so many at times, children, they blame themselves. They think maybe they are causing whatever that is happening, yet it's the adults that are around them who are failing to protect the children. And I just want to say to somebody, today, especially because I believe the parents don't want to acknowledge all this. If you bring up these kind of stories to your parents, they don't want to hear this. You see, they want you to be fine. They grow up, get over it, live your life. That's what you're expected to do. But it's not always that so. I had to let go of anger, hatred, bitterness, because I went through all that. So I had to release everything to become the person that I am right now. Because sometimes you don't know where your anger is coming from. You really need to look at yourself sometimes. The resentment, the bitterness, you know, and I had to forgive. Even if people don't ask for forgiveness, you just have to forgive for your own good, because unforgiveness, it's like drinking acid or drinking poison and expecting it to kill the other person. It kills you. The other person might not even know what you're going through. So I'm just sharing this. It's really deep or too personal for me to unpack. Even at my age right now, I'm grown up. I still feel the pain of the childhood, the child in me that went through that. So it's my story. I think I'll get the courage to tell it the way to unpack, maybe, and maybe help somebody. I'm not telling my story just for the sake of saying it. I know I might not be the only one who went through it, but I just want to encourage somebody that you can overcome, you can rise above whatever happened in your life. And it's a choice you need to make.